You take me places that tear up my reputation, manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. Dun 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 dun. There's nothing holding me back. Hello, and today we're doing championship predictions for match day number 29 of the 2020 to 21 season. Let's get into it. It's going to be a good one, that's for sure. And there's plenty of games to get through, so bear with whilst I get up the matches. And I'm also going to go through my final review of last week, Game Week 28. What a week it was. I just can't believe it. And we're going to predict this week. But in terms of this week, that was the song of the week. There's Nothing Holding Me Back by Shawn Mendes. The theme of the week is Valentine's Day for that special someone. And the colour of the week is red. So, last week, how many points did I score? It was 19. Not bad at all. And we got correct score lines in a few games. But the main thing to say is that there were midweek matches. And I got a correct score in the Brentford win against Reading. So you love to see that. Correct result in the Wednesday win over Wycombe. And also an incorrect result in the Cardiff win over Rotherham. I went with the draw. But yeah, we're going to get into these this game week's games. And I'm currently on an overall of 629. But if you want to comment your predictions down below, feel free. The scoring system, 3 points for the correct result, 5 for the goal difference and the result, and also 8 for the correct scoreline. And yeah, we're going to talk about my fantasy team basically from last week, which is actually incredibly amazing. How it's got this many points, I do not know. But yeah, we're going to get into this week. So let's get cracking then. So week 29 predictions. And we start off by reviewing my week 28 team. How many points did my team that is called Pedro's Point Grabbers, how many points is it currently on? Overall, I'm currently on a score of 1,670, which puts me within 9 of my opponent. So we're creeping up on them. But third place in the table. But last week we ended on an amazing game week score of 116. Come on, let's go. I mean, game week 27, we played the optimal captain. And we thought it couldn't get any better than that because we got 60 points for Ivan Toney. So with the optimal captain, it just chose the best captaincy for this week. And I didn't use a chip this week. I just thought, you know what? Just out of choice, I'm going to captain Ivan Toney. It made sense. He had, I think, 2 games. And guess what? He finished as my captain on 72 points. That legend is absolutely brilliant. He literally carried my team this week because it means that I've gone up to a rank overall of 975. It's a green arrow, a game week rank of 864. And it's got to be said, other than Ivan Toney this week, most of it was pretty awful for my team. So let's go through. Woodman, 5 points. Love to see it. The yellow card you don't like to see, but he got the clean sheet. Against Norwich. Christie, lovely stuff. Clean sheet again. Aaron's not so good. Obviously not ideal because he had to play against Woodman. But yeah, 1 pointer from him. 2 pointer from Wood. Again, not exactly ideal. And I don't think he played, if I'm right in thinking, in the other game. Or if he didn't, then it was, a very small involvement. But yeah, he got 2 points overall across 2 games, which isn't great. Elise, 4 points. Again, not ideal. Just literally for the minutes played, nothing else. But then, Brian Mbemu, my absolute legend for the vice captaincy. It would have been nice if he'd have got more, but over a double game week, 12 points is pretty nice because he got an assist in one of those games. Performance bonus +2, so that is lovely. Very good there. Jamal Lowe has been quiet recently. 2-pointer, not exactly ideal, and didn't play as much minutes. And Sema, also another 2-pointer. You hate to see it. Hopefully they'll be getting more points over the coming game weeks. But then the front 3 was very mixed, and we'll go from worst to best. Pedro, 1-pointer. he just doesn't get the starts under Xisco Munoz, and he didn't score against Coventry, but had that really good chance where he should have absolutely leathered it, and he kind of just curled it, and the goalie was able to save. So he's got to do some big things in the next game against Bristol City, basically. But we will see how that goes. So 1 pointer for him. Then my emergency captain, Andre Ayew, what a legend. He just does it week in, week out for Swansea, and got the goal against Norwich. 9 pointer. Thank you very much. That is very, very good indeed. Performance bonus as well for that result. So that's very, very nice. And then we got the captain, 72-point captain, Ivan Toney. What an absolute legend. So he got 4 extra points for minutes played, 9 extra points for his assists. So I think he got I think he got 1 assist in the game against whoever it was. I think it was Middlesbrough. And I think he also got 1 assist or a couple of assists in the game against Reading. So yeah, it was absolutely mad. It was a week of absolute dreams for Ivan Toney. And in terms of goals-wise, he got a brace in the game against... was it Bristol City, actually? Maybe not. I don't know. But it was the previous game. I think it was Middlesbrough, yeah. Got a brace in that game. And then he got another goal in the game against Reading. So his goals, plus 15 on the points. And the performance bonus, plus 8. So to get a captain that gets 72 is just crazy. And I'm absolutely buzzing after that. And basically, in terms of my bench, it would have been better if I'd have played Semenyo over Aarons, but actually you can't do that because you have to play a 3, at least 3 at the back, and I played a 3-4-3. So it didn't really make a difference, but I was glad that I benched Femenia and Dyke Steele because they both got 0 points, not playing, which is a little bit annoying. Well, actually, no, Dyke Steele did play, but he just conceded 2 goals, whereas Femenia didn't play anything. And Semenyo only got 2 extra points for the minutes played. So, yeah, with Smith also on the bench as my second goalie, that was an amazing week. And surely we've got to keep on with that consistency and that quality. I'm hoping we can, but it's going to be tough to top. It really is. That was absolutely world class from me. But this is my lineup going into game week 29. The deadline is today at 6:15, so I've pretty much locked it in. In goal, we've got Freddie Woodman. Against Sheffield Wednesday, a good chance for a clean sheet. Then we've got new signing in my team, new transfer. It's Morrison from Cardiff against the Coventry team that can concede and hopefully gets a nice header into the goal. We've then got Christie at home against Bournemouth. You never know, Forest could get an upset there, get a clean sheet. We've got Max Aarons, very attacking fullback, taking on Stoke. Then we've got Brian Mbeumo. Absolute legend, 12-pointer last week. Can he top that up with another good score? Hopefully. And he's going to be against Barnsley. Then we've actually got a midfield of Semenyo in there. And it's bold, it's brave, because Semenyo's not been doing that well since I transferred him in. He's got the odd goal, but he's done actually better in other competitions. Like, for example, he did well in the FA Cup. And it's bold, and it's a bit weird for me to bring him into the team and actually start him in a week that he plays my club, Watford. But knowing us, we'll probably let him score. So I'm going to play him this week away to Watford. And then we've got Jamal Lowe. He needs to get back in the goals, but Sheffield Wednesday are leaky, so surely he will. Then vice-captain, I've got Ken Sema. It's bold, it's brave, but it could work, you know. I really do think. So yeah, that's our 4 in midfield. And Sema is up against Bristol City. They can be quite leaky, but they're also hard to break down. But if anyone can do that, we know the creativity of Ken Sema. And now with the forward line, I've really gone bold. Basically, I've dropped the midfielder Elise, even though he's got a decent game against Millwall. It doesn't look like Elise is doing a lot, and I'm putting all my eggs in the Watford basket because I've got 2 Watford players and I'm starting both of them. Now, João Pedro better start against Bristol City. That's all I'm saying. So, Xisco Munoz, if you're listening to this one, he better start because we're starting him and hopefully he goes and gets a goal. Then we've got emergency captain Andre Ayew, absolute legend. He's playing against Sheffield Wednesday. And finally, captain has to be Ivan Toney. He's Mr. Consistent, Mr. Reliable. And then my bench, Smith, Elise, Pippa from Huddersfield and Richard Wood. So hopefully we do well this week. We're not going to play any chips, of course, because I think we've run out of the boosts or whatever. But I'm happy with that team locked in for game week 29. Hopefully we can get lots of points. But we finish off that FPL preview for, I say FPL, fantasy preview for the championship. And now we get into our championship predictions. Talking of FPL, my Premier League fantasy preview will be coming on Saturday, 11 o'clock. So stay tuned for that and get excited for that. But today we are doing week 29 predictions. And it is Valentine's weekend. So basically, it will be a thing of the clubs hoping for their matches to give them a bit of luck, but also a bit of love. And can they get love from the fans based on the results they get this weekend? Well, it will be interesting to see, that's for sure. But we're going to get into the first game to predict. It's going to be the Friday night kickoff between Blackburn and Preston. And I'm going to go for a... what am I going to say? I'm going to say a 3-0 win for Blackburn. It's a shame about the screen, but we can't control it. It is what it is. Yeah, Blackburn have been impressive this season, and I think this is a good game to watch. Could be entertaining, but I've just got to fancy Blackburn because they are a good side this season. They've been scoring goals. They haven't been amazing form all season, but they will pick it back up in this game, I reckon. And I think that the man to watch in this game, of course, will be Adam Armstrong. But these two are actually outsiders for the Championship playoffs. And Blackburn won 3-0 when they last met, with Preston getting a man sent off. And I think that will be the same score this time in favour of Rovers. Now we've got a game that is going to be between Norwich City and Stoke. And it's a massive game because for, the high-flying Norwich to get a win back, to maybe get back in front and on top of the league, they want to keep up the momentum. And Stoke want to get some momentum so they can get into those playoff places. But I fancy high-flying Norwich to come away with 3 points. It should be a good game, and I think it should be an important match for Norwich. But I'm going to say Norwich 2, Stoke City 1. All right, now we have Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth. This is the 12:30 kickoff on the Saturday. Sky Sports Football. Could be an interesting one. And this is a tough trip for Bournemouth, especially off the back of some of their recent form. But they need to be keeping on to picking up wins if they want to keep up with the top two. And they did just get the win against Birmingham last time, but I just got a feeling this Forest side looks full of confidence. Knockaert back in the goals. Glenn Murray is relishing that moment up front, and Chris Hughton has got them playing some nice football. Defensively, they might start to be improving. So I'm going to go for Nottingham Forest 1, Bournemouth 0. I just think that, yes, the Cherries are probably the favourites, but I think Forest could really surprise them. So I think Forest will win 1-0 on the day. All right, now we've got a game between Brentford and Barnsley. This is a tough game for the away side, really. Brentford have been such a good team to watch this season, and a big part of that has been Ivan Toney. I think he will likely get another brace here, but I'm going for 3-0 to the Bees at their new stadium. And then we've got Rotherham against QPR. I'm going to say a 3-1 win to Rotherham. QPR have been quite underwhelming recently, even though they have improved in confidence and improved in especially their away form. But I just feel this Rotherham team has got a little bit about them, and they will go here and get a 3-1 victory. Sheffield Wednesday taking on Swansea City, a tough game for the Owls, really, because they've had a lot of financial troubles and they are still pretty much in the danger zone of the table, whereas Swansea are in exactly where you'd want to be, chasing for promotion. And I just think they've been defensively very, very solid with the likes of Connor Roberts and Freddie Woodman. And going forward, Jamal Lowe, Andre Ayew, and many more. Even Conor Hourihane recently has been very, very lethal. So I think they'll find a way past this Sheffield Wednesday team and win by 2-0 away from home. Then it's Derby against Middlesbrough, a massive game. Both sides want to prove a point. Derby have started to have an upturn in form under Wayne Rooney, and Middlesbrough have struggled to score goals under Neil Warnock, but they have defensive solidity and defensive resistance. But I'm just going to back Derby in this one, 2-0 to the Rams. We next have Reading against Millwall. I'm saying a 3-1 Reading win. They've been a fantastic team to watch this season, and Lucas João has been pretty consistent this season. I think he'll get another couple of goals here, but 3-1 to Reading. Watford against Bristol City is next. A massive game for the Golden Boys. Come on, you Horns. We have to be bouncing back from the disappointment of the last 3 or so weeks. Not been putting in, performances really at all, especially away from home. And we are pretty reliant on our home form, but we need to just go out there, express ourselves, and really play for the badge, because there's been a lot of Watford players a little bit half-hearted at the minute, and it's really starting to frustrate Watford fans. So, yeah, we need to go out there, kill off the game early on, and be more clinical. We only had one shot on target in the reverse fixture, which was a 0-0 dull fest. But we need more excitement and more professionalism, really, to see out the game. I'll say Watford 2, Bristol City 0, with goals from Andre Gray, first of all, and that will come on 41 minutes, a massive goal just before half-time to give us the momentum. And then we get our second from Tom Cleverley, the midfield box-to-box, hunting down every ball, and he will get the second for us on 72 minutes. All right, now we've got a game between Cardiff and Coventry, and I'm going to edge towards a bit of a shock here, because Cardiff, yes, they're a big club, but this season has been a problem for them. They've had a lot of change, they've had a lot of losses, and ultimately Coventry have got a bit about them. They're fighting for this survival this season, and away from home, I think Coventry can be a good team. So I'll say 1-0 to the Sky Blues away from home. And now we have Birmingham against Luton. And I'm just going to favour Luton here, because Birmingham haven't been a great team to watch this season. They've really struggled for results. And, they've got some decent players in their side, like Djukovic, like I think Hogan as well. I think they've still got, or perhaps that's another team, but they've still got players that can score goals. I just think Luton have just shown a bit more quality in the final third this season. So 3-1 to the Hatters away from home. And now it's Huddersfield versus Wycombe. Sounds like a pretty dull game, and I'm going to predict a pretty dull game. I just think both teams haven't really found much of a scoring solution. To be fair, Uche Ikpeazu has been really good for Wycombe, but I just think Huddersfield will frustrate them here and go for a 0-0, and that's how it'll end. And finally, we have... Is that it? I think it is. Pretty sure it is. Yeah, that's it for the predictions. So thanks for watching this video. Smash a like on it if you haven't already. And yeah, it's going to be a big game week of action, basically, in the Championship, as always. But let's see how it plays out. So hopefully we can get some massive wins for the Golden Boys, and hopefully it's a good week of Championship action. Thanks for watching this one. I'll see you in the next one.